Hey, everybody, I'm Diane Armitage, and welcome back again to the Catalyst Code, where we crack the internal code that creates the external result. I am your host, and after 27 years as Bob Proctor's writing partner and protege, I've been helping people all over the world step into their greatness and create better in their world, whatever that better might be. Each week, Catalyst Code teaches you how to activate momentum, rewire your mind, and create results that stick. You are the catalyst. This is the code. So let's go. Hey there. Lately, I've been studying quite a bit of Ernest Holmes, his book, It's Up to You. Now, Ernest Holmes began lecturing in the late 1920s, and he continued until he passed in 1960. And he lived in LA for several years. I've also been studying Neville Goddard's essays, what were more typically referred to as his lectures, and he delivered them from the 1950s to months before his death in 1972. He also lived in LA. Maybe this is where I have a great affinity with them, but I also believe that these two gentlemen have absolute profound knowledge in the understanding of how the mind works and how the mind is in charge of changing up your life. Now, I've been reading a lot of Ernest Holmes, and I'll be talking about him shortly, but I wanted to share with you an essay from Neville Goddard that I came across recently, and it is so compelling. It is just so simple and direct and game-changing. It's a lot like the book he wrote called The Feeling is the Secret, which me and many of my clients studied last spring. Now, currently, I'm mentoring a one-on-one client basis thing in my new Catalyst program. The formal title is The Catalyst One-on-One Intensive Mentoring to Accelerate Your Vision into Reality. Now, because this program is wholly customized to each client's specific situation and goal, I'm always looking for that perfect piece to share with this Catalyst client or that Catalyst client, right? So I came across this Neville essay, and I'm thinking, oh, I think that this would actually work really well for this client. And I thought, well, it actually would work well for that client too. And then I thought, you know what? I think all of my Catalyst clients would benefit from it. And then I thought, you know what? I think anyone and everyone who actually has a hearing mind for this kind of information, who's willing to hear this, anyone and everyone, including you probably, who's tired of wanting more and visualizing more and affirming more and hoping for more and setting more goals for more and not getting the more that you want, this is for you too. Now, Neville Goddard is what I call heavy water. He's a heavy water writer. And that means to me that, you could take one sentence of his and make it into like a 2-hour Hollywood feature film. His writing is really complex. So rather than just read his essay verbatim for you here and risk that you're missing out on something between his style of prose or because he has these complex truisms in every single sentence and every single paragraph, I've edited it Diane style. And I've thrown in a number of Dianeisms and Diane stories and examples to help you understand what is truly the only factor keeping you from all the success you want. Yep, I said the only factor. So let's get you on track right now. Now, I'm going to be reading a little bit, so don't mind if you see my eyes kind of move away because I did not memorize this entire essay, okay? So he says, the one thing you must stop doing, the very thing that pushes success away from you, is living in the consciousness of lack. Living in the consciousness of lack. Now, let me tell you what I mean by this because it's of paramount importance. Every moment of your day, you are either living in the consciousness of lack or the consciousness of abundance. There is no middle ground, no neutral state of being. When you say, I want success, you are actually affirming its absence. When you say, I need more money, you are dwelling in the consciousness of not having enough. When you say, I need to feel healthier, I want this part of my body to regenerate in total health, you will continue to experience the lack of health. When you proclaim, I wish I was more successful, I wish I was more successful, you are living in a state of wanting rather than having. Do you see the subtle yet crucial difference? He says, let me share with you a principle that I've tested and proven countless times. Whatever you are experiencing now, whether it's lack or abundance, it is the direct result of your accepted beliefs about yourself and your world. How's that for a punch, right? Whether it's lack or abundance, it is the direct result of your accepted beliefs about yourself and your world. Now, I'm going to show you how to move from the consciousness of lack to the consciousness of fulfillment with help from Neville Goddard. From the state of wanting to the state of having. From the condition of seeking to the condition of being. Now, think about this. Every time you say or even think, I want more success, it doesn't matter what that success may be. It may be more money. It may be a loving relationship. It may be a revitalized health situation, a career shift that takes off for you. Whatever you think of, whatever you say, I want more success in this month or next year, you are placing success outside of yourself, making it something to be attained rather than something to be expressed. This is the fundamental error that keeps pushing success away from you. Success is not something you pursue, my friend. It is a consciousness to be assumed. Now, let me tell you a story from my own experience. When I first started working with Bob Proctor as his writing partner, more than 30 years ago now, I had come from a world of wanting, wanting so much more, wanting to be more successful. And oh my gosh, I worked so hard at trying to gain more success. And I'd list all the things I was going to do and all the things I was going to buy and all the places I was going to move to and all the places I was going to travel to as soon as I had that success. And yes, it worked to a certain extent because at some level of my consciousness, I was visualizing that end result, but it wasn't that phenomenal liftoff that I was hoping for. Phenomenal success eluded me. Why? Because I was living in the consciousness of wanting success rather than being successful. And then Bob came along and he straightened me out. He told me that as long as I lived in the consciousness of wanting success, I would continue to experience the want. Now, this is where I began the most important fundamental shift in my consciousness. Instead of saying, I want success, and this is what it's going to look like, I began to live from the consciousness, an assumption that it was all working out because I was already successful. Now, Bob told me to go get a pillow speaker, which I found at the old school Radio Shack back then. This was back in the 90s. And he recorded this 10-minute spiel for me that was absolutely life-changing, or should I say, consciousness changing for me. And this is the same sort of recording that I'm doing for each of my Catalyst clients. And hopefully, maybe someday that will be you too. The recording he did for me, you see, was like an igniter. It propelled me in the right direction. Now, as time went on, I began to add in even more of my own practice around this. The intention was to fall asleep each night feeling the naturalness of being successful. The naturalness of being successful. Have you ever had something in your life where you just feel like you're natural at it? I mean, I can naturally parallel park. I don't know how because I can't really reverse my car, but I can parallel park in a really great way. It's natural. I'm a natural writer. What comes to you naturally? What comes to you easily? Imagine feeling that naturalness of being successful. So I would wake up, and even before moving a muscle, I would express gratitude for my awesome success that I was experiencing. I would walk through my day from that point forward, experiencing the feeling of being successful. This became my new normal state of consciousness. Now, I want you to pay careful attention to this. This is the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter. Success is not a future event. It is a present state of consciousness. The feeling of being successful now is the secret of experiencing success in what you call your future. When you live in the consciousness of lack, saying things like, I need more money, I want love in my life, I wish I had more opportunities, you're actually reinforcing the very state that keeps this from you. You are dwelling in the consciousness of absence. And the law of consciousness dictates that what you assume, you must express. What you assume, you must express. Now, here's how Neville Goddard recommends that your fundamental shift in consciousness happen. And I love this part because it's all about the two highest factors in your built-in tower of power. A lot of you know how I speak about your built-in tower of power. The two highest factors at the very top of that tower are your intuition connected to source energy, and your imagination. So he says, first, you must understand that your imagination is not a tool for daydreaming about what you want. Now, isn't that interesting? That flies in the face of what a whole lot of people talk about when it comes to your imagination and visualizing. Understand that your imagination is not a tool for daydreaming about what you want. It is the very substance of reality itself. Your imagination is the very substance of reality itself. It is power. I'm going to repeat this because this is absolutely the key. Your imagination is not a tool for daydreaming about what you want. It is the very substance of reality itself. So he writes, when I speak of imagination, I'm speaking of your highest level of consciousness, your I amness. And he says, the Bible tells us, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is not mere poetry. It is a practical instruction in the art of consciousness transformation. Now, I want you to remember that word, renewing of your mind. This is not starting over. This is not starting from scratch. This is transformation happening from the renewing of your mind. Now, I want you to hear this too. He says, when you continue to live in the consciousness of lack, you're using your imagination, your creative power, to perpetuate the very condition you wish to change, the very condition you wish to escape. Now, this is a profound truth. Everything in your world right now that you don't like, all of that is pushing against you with the force of your own assumption. If you assume lack, the whole world will prove you right. If you assume abundance, the same world will reorganize itself to prove that assumption. He says, now let me give you a practical technique to stop living in the consciousness of lack. Tonight, when you go to bed, instead of reviewing your day of wanting success and seeking success, you will enter into a new state of consciousness. You will feel as though you are already successful. But remember, this is not merely positive thinking or affirmation. This is a complete assumption of the state of consciousness of being successful. Feel how it would feel to be the person you desire to be. That's me telling you. Feel how it would feel to be the person you desire to be. Feel the satisfaction, feel the contentment, feel the gratitude that would be yours if you were already expressing success, living a life of your defined success. Now, you may be out there thinking, how can you feel successful when your current reality shows you the exact opposite? How can I feel successful when my current reality is nowhere close to feeling successful? See, this is where most people get stuck. This is where they stay trapped in the consciousness of lack. They allow their current circumstances to dictate their inner state. Now, Bob Proctor used to say, they let their current results dictate how they see and what they feel about themselves. But here's the remarkable thing. Your present circumstances are nothing more than the harvest of your previous assumptions. Oh, that's so good from Neville. Did you get that? What's going on in your life right now is the result of what your thinking and talking and acting was doing months, even years before. And that's the magic of this all. Your present circumstances have no power to determine your future. Your present circumstances have no power to determine your future unless you give them that power by accepting them as final, the final word for your life. This is how it is. This is so untrue. I mean, think about this. Neville says that every great achievement in human history began with someone who dared to assume a state that their senses denied. Now, let me unwrap that thought there for a moment. Every great achievement began with someone who chose to deny their senses. What does that mean? Well, remember, you're the one creating your reality, right? So say you're really struggling with a health issue. It could be a life-threatening health issue. It may be something like not being able to delete the weight that you wish to delete. So every day you're seeing the results of this reality. You're feeling the results of this reality, which may feel disappointing, exhausting, maybe even scary. But remember what Reverend Michael Beckwith reminds us of. This is a feeling universe. This is a feeling universe. You are an energetic spirit, an energetic being interacting with the energy all around you. And the energy out there corresponds to your nature. It corresponds to your like vibration. This is not magic. This is not woo-woo. It's law of physics. So you're feeling the results of this. Your life isn't changing in the direction that you want to go. And the energy out there is simply corresponding and creating according to your feeling energetic tone. Doesn't this add a whole new meaning to that phrase we all know? What you see is what you get. What you see is what you'll keep getting. Why is that? Because you're letting your senses run the show in the wrong direction. You're letting your physical senses dominate the most powerful factor you have, your imagination. You keep creating the same from your senses. You're looking at this dismal reality. You're soaking all of that in with your senses. Your senses feed this to your conscious mind. Your conscious mind sees it as more of the same. So it figures this is the protocol, right? This is the ongoing, never-changing belief of my person. So it just shrugs and it moves that down into the subconscious mind. And this is where the inner conversation occurs. What happens here? Your conscious mind has an inner conversation. It moves it down to your subconscious mind, which must accept the idea. It has no ability to reject. And so the same reality continues to occur because the subconscious mind is only in charge of what? Creating a reality based on the belief. In order to create a new state, which creates your new reality, you must deny your senses. This is why Neville says every great achievement in human history began with someone who dared to assume a state that their senses denied. Every invention, every discovery, every advancement started in the imagination of someone who refused to accept current circumstances as final. So he says the one thing you must stop doing is allowing your present facts to determine your inner conversations. Your inner conversations. Your inner conversations are your actual state of consciousness. When you say, I can't afford it, it's too difficult, I'm not qualified enough, they'll never go for this, it's never happened before, why would it happen now? I can't make ends meet, I don't have enough of a degree, I don't have enough of a family pedicure. You are having inner conversations that perpetuate the state of lack. Instead, you must begin new inner conversations based on the assumption of already being what you desire to be. As Neville says, you are already the success you claimed you were endeavoring to be. You are already the success you claimed you were endeavoring to be. You are already the success. that you were endeavoring to be. No more endeavoring, no more trying. You're already it. When you walk with a feeling of being successful. When you talk from the consciousness of being successful. When you work from the state of being successful. Neville says, let me share with you a profound secret. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation. Okay, that's a profound secret. I'm going to say it again. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of your creation. Whatever you are feeling, my friend, is true about yourself right now. And that is creating your future experiences. Now, I know it seems I'm hammering in a point here. Actually, Neville is hammering in a point, but I'm going to repeat that because it's important. Here's the profound secret. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation. Whatever you are feeling is true about yourself right now, and that is creating your future experience. If you're feeling the frustration of wanting success, you are creating more experience of wanting success. Here's more from Neville. He says, let us delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. When I tell you to live in the consciousness of success rather than the consciousness of lack, I'm not suggesting mere mental gymnastics. I'm revealing to you the very foundation of creation itself. This is the very foundation of creation itself. Consider this every night before you sleep, because it's at this time that your consciousness is in a high state of high receptivity. This is the time when the seed of your assumption will take root most deeply. Instead of falling asleep feeling the frustration of what you don't have, fall asleep in the consciousness of already having what you desire. Now, he even offers a specific technique. He says, as you lay in your bed, close your eyes and ask yourself this question. How would I feel if I was expressing the success I desire? How would I feel if I was expressing the success I desire? Then let that feeling envelop you. You completely feel the satisfaction, the contentment, the absolute knowing that success is not something you're seeking, but something you're expressing right now. Right now. Right now. Remember, the subconscious mind accepts as true whatever you feel to be true. It doesn't argue. It doesn't question. It simply accepts and then proceeds to express that acceptance in your outer world. This is why feeling is the secret. Now, many of you clients of mine out there, this is why we read Neville's Feeling is the Secret book together, because it is the secret. Now, he says here in this essay, many of you have been told that you must work hard, struggle, and sacrifice to achieve success. But I tell you, these are the very assumptions that keep you bound to the consciousness of lack. Success is not achieved through effort. It is expressed through assumption. Oh, so good. So good. Success is not achieved through effort. It is expressed through assumption. Now think about this. When you assume the feeling of success, you are actually moving into a different state of consciousness. In this new state, opportunities that were always there but invisible to your previous state of consciousness are suddenly popping up and visible to you everywhere. Have you ever noticed that? Now, Neville offers a great visual here in this sentence. He says, the whole vast world before you is you pushed out. The whole vast world before you is you pushed out. You energetic being, you the catalyst interacting with the whole vast world before you. It is you, your consciousness actually pushed out to the world. I think back to watching movies about Merlin or Dumbledore and Harry Potter series. Have you ever noticed that anyone deemed practicing magic flings their arms, they fling the wand they're holding in their hand out from the core of their being? This is you. This is you. The whole vast world before you is you pushed out. Everything you perceive out there, perception, so powerful in your built-in tower of power in your world, perception, everything you perceive out there is an expression of your own consciousness. Therefore, when you live in the consciousness of lack, the whole world conspires to show you lack. When you live in the consciousness of success, the same world reorganizes itself to show you success. Don't you love that word that he uses? Reorganizes. When something is reorganizing, it's already there. You're not starting from scratch here. My brother is the Jenga puzzle master packer of all time. Anytime anyone is going anywhere, they show up in my brother's park in my driveway, his driveway, so that he could reorganize everything and then get more room. I used him to help me change up my storage units in Oregon because I wanted to go from 2 big ones to 1 big one. Who did I call? My brother. Why? Because everything was already there. I wasn't getting rid of anything in either one of the storage units, but he reorganized everything. It was already there. You're not starting from scratch here. This is not about recreating. All of the same elements that you think you've been needing or wanting, they're already there. On your command, they just reorganize for you. It's like a vast Rubik's Cube that quickly and suddenly falls into place, right? And yes, this can happen very, very quickly. It's simply awaiting the bidding from your consciousness. It's simply awaiting the bidding from your consciousness. Don't you love the way he writes? Now, here's another great insight from Neville. He says, some of you might be thinking, well, what about action? Don't we need to be doing something? Yes, but okay, listen to this. But your actions must spring from the consciousness of already being successful, not from the consciousness of trying to become successful. That's so good. Your actions must spring from the consciousness of already being successful, not from the consciousness of trying to become successful. I want you to really pay attention to this part. Do you see the difference when you act from the consciousness of lack? Your actions are tinged with anxiety, doubt, the energy of seeking and wanting. But when you act from the consciousness of already being successful, your actions flow naturally, effortlessly inspired by the very state you have already assumed. I love how he writes that. Your actions are tinged with anxiety, doubt, and the energy of seeking, of wanting. But when you act from the consciousness of already being successful, your actions flow naturally, effortlessly inspired by the very state you have already assumed. He says, now I want you to really think about this. Think about the specific success you seek. I mean, for me, I would say, are you looking for love? Are you looking for greater health? Are you looking for more money? Are you looking for more substantial personal growth or spiritual growth? Are you looking for career growth? Whatever it is you desire, I want you to think of something that I want you to think of someone that you admire, someone you assume is living today in the success that you are seeking. They're extra healthy. They have the love of their lives. They have all the money in the world. They have this great career success. What is that person thinking when he or she wakes up? Now, I don't want you to delve into the person and try to find fault with something that person is doing. That's not what this is about. That ends up in a lack consciousness. What I want you to think about is somebody that you really admire and you're like, wow, think about how much money they've got. Isn't it awesome? Think about how much health they have. It's so amazing. Think about the love of their lives and how happy they are. Isn't that just so awesome to watch, right? So what is that person thinking when he or she wakes up? What action is that person taking right now because he or she is already successful? And they're living in the assumption of absolute fulfilled success right here, right now. I mean, I think about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. They're darling. They're darling. They look like they love each other a lot. Ryan Reynolds is one of the most creative, imaginative spirits I've ever seen out there. When Ryan Reynolds wakes up in the morning, what is he thinking about? What action is he taking that day? Because he's already successful. He's already living in the assumption of absolute fulfilled success right here, right now. What do you think they could be doing or being that could begin doing or being in your world in the same way today? I talk to my clients about taking on the cloak, taking on the mantle of somebody else. If you really admire somebody out there, I don't care who it is. It could be somebody who's passed. It could be Oprah. It could be the King of England. It could be anybody that you admire. What do you think they could be doing or being that you could begin doing or being the same of today? I'll tell you one thing for sure. They don't go through their day seeking success. They live. They move. They have their being in the consciousness of success. Now back to Neville. He says, success is not a destination. It is a state of consciousness. I want you to think about moving from one room to another in your physical home. Just picture yourself moving from one room of your home to another room in your home. You can just as easily move from one state of consciousness to another in your spiritual home. The move is accomplished not by physical effort, but by assumption. And he says, and let me tell you something profound. The state of consciousness of already being successful knows exactly what to do. The state of consciousness of already being successful knows exactly what to do. It knows precisely what actions to take. It attracts the right circumstances, the right people, the right opportunities, but you must first occupy that state. Okay, that's enough for today. In my next session, I'm going to finish this essay of Neville Goddard's where he addresses what you may find most challenging as you adopt this new state of consciousness. These are a lot of questions that come to me as well. So this would include maintaining this new state of consciousness when your external world hasn't yet caught up with your inner assumption. What to do when things go wrong. Reviewing your current goals and action plans with newly enlightened eyes. The one question to ask yourself when you feel your faith slipping. I love the line he uses here. Those moments of doubt are like continually digging up a seed to see if it's growing. So good. Those moments of doubt are like continually digging up a seed to see if it's growing. Other challenges, the interval of time between assumption and manifestation, and what to do when failure or setbacks seem to happen. That's all in part 2. Now you have plenty to listen to here, and re-listen to, and re-listen to, and re-listen to. I'm going to leave you with 2 of my favorite sentences from Neville, which are in the second part of this. Success is not something that happens to you. It's something that happens from you. And what you will experience tomorrow is being determined by your consciousness today. I'll be seeing you again soon.